pray in time that you open your eyes and that you see inside of me. Right there is Christ. Now is it that what we should be striving for? Are you hearing him? Hear him knocking at the door. We must learn to do well. In this moment, we can't fail. Satan is out there to ruin. So watch what you are doing. Watch what you are doing. Satan is out there to ruin. Watch what you're pursuing. Please don't lose your humanity. Please don't. The earth is waiting for you and me to be everything the Most High said will be. Said will be. He said, be a people one love again. 'Cause it's a tragedy. Make me a witness that you will never ever love me no less. I pray in time that you realize to see inside of you is the truth of Christ. Now is it that what we should be striving for? Are you hearing him? Because the King is at the door. We must learn to do it. Can't you tell in this moment we can't fail? Satan is out there to ruin. So watch what you are doing. Watch what you're doing. Satan is out there to ruin. Watch what you're pursuing.
Oh, yes, bitches.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Turn up the jam tonight. Yeah, we got a freaking
Man,
blast from the
dude.
past today, man. This is the Nothing Sacred interview. I am Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. And man, we hooked up with a longtime friend from Camp Bloomfield, our boy Nashayah Napash. What's good, man? Welcome to the show.
Man, I can't believe I'm on with Maxwell Silverhammer and Cruise Control.
Yeah,
What is
man.
poppin', fella?
Let me just ask you guys this. Okay, back with the song that Cruise Control was referencing, Turn Up the Jam. You know, Nashayah always did the bass part on that, and then Cruise Control would do the high, the vocals, Turn Up the Jam. So we'd be doing that shit at rest hour. Did you guys ever think 33 years later, we're all going to be on some podcast?
Oh shit, man. That was 33 years ago. Shit, what that was 92, wasn't it?
92,
Yes, sir.
92?
Mm-hmm.
Man, 92. Man, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah. And back then you were going by, wasn't it Blind MC or A1 or what was the deal with that?
You had both names right. Man, bro, you are like an elephant. I'll tell you, man. Every time we talk, man, you always bringing up stuff. I swear. We're gonna call you Elephant Maxwell Silverhammer. I'm telling you, man.
Well, he's the goat-elephant because he's a goat elephant.
I'm a goat. I'll eat anything, and I'm stubborn.
So maybe elephants kind of work because you're stubborn, but then again, but you fucking goats remember a lot too. They got to remember where to get the food at.
They gotta remember where to go and go get their stash.
Yeah, go get their stash, man.
Oh, but yeah, man. Yeah. Blind MC has always been me, like since I was like 7 years old. I was always Blind MC for a long time. Remember that one rapper from back in the day, Young MC?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, of course.
Okay, all right. So since like at that time, I had my eyesight at that time because I have never been, totally blind. I lost my eyesight right before I started going to camp. I had lost my eyesight at 12 and a half years old. And then within a year and a half later, I was at camp and meeting you guys.
Oh, shit. I never knew that. I
didn't know that either. I thought you were older for some reason.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, but see, remember, I went to camp 3 years in a row. So when I first went to camp, I didn't meet you guys. And then I met other people. Then I came back to camp. I think I even missed a year. Then it came the last 2 years, and then I met you guys. But I thought I've seen you though, Jeff, before I met Brett the last couple of years at camp. Because I went all the way up until I was 16.
Yeah.
And
that's right. You went. Damn, I thought you were older. I thought
he was too. I thought he was like our age, like 17 or something, because that's what we were when we were there.
I remember the first year, like I said, you were really there was when we had a crew of people, and I just remember this at rest hour and stuff. Like I said, we would hang out and we would just sing stuff, and we made up that Turn Up the Jam we did this other one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And we were on the bus and we were chilling on the bus. So that's the first time, because you were always so like encouraging, which was funny. You had this positive attitude, even like, yeah, man, let's do this. Oh, you should sing. And I'm like, oh, because I wasn't really singing that much there before that. I did a couple of songs, maybe. I don't know. Did I sing much there before?
Yeah, you did, because you guys did Secret Garden. Remember, you guys did your version of Secret Garden?
No. That wasn't before that. That was after that. We were planning on doing that.
That was the next year. That was the next year later. That was the next year.
Okay.
That was the next. Because we had 2 years. I know me and Jeff had 2 years. For some reason, I don't remember having 2 years with you, Brett. For some reason,
I do, because 92 is when I first met you, and then you came back in 93. We were actually in the same cabin. That's when you used to fuck with Eric Calhoun all the time.
That's what I remember, because I remember putting Jason Steele in the Fort Nelson, and you was there.
That's right. We used to wrestle at rest hour. Yeah. I remember you just grabbed me in a bear hug, and I couldn't fucking move. I was like,
yeah.
I remember that, man.
So I remember. So okay. So what happened? This is how my memory went, and we're all going reminiscing. Because by the way, we've got some new. Like I said, that song was fucking amazing. Losing Humanity.
Losing Humanity. That's a banging ass song. We got to talk about that
further. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Into the weeds. Yeah.
So we've got 4 songs. When did you? Because the production on this is fantastic.
Yeah,
it sounds really good, and it sounds really, really, really clean, and just the way you sing and just your message, obviously. So let's start with that, and then we'll reminisce about stuff. We just know him from a long way
Right.
back
So
in
it's
a
kind of
camp.
been.
Then people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck are they talking about?" So let's start with that, man. Let's start with I've obviously been making music since then. Before then, so you were blind MC, and then you kind of after camp. Let's start from there. Let's go up to where you are now. Like what it like not a complete detail, but so what happened after camp? We went the last year I think I met was hanging out was 93 as well, because I think that's when we did Secret Garden. But after that, you went to camp maybe one more time, and then just kind of like lived around. Because I know we've hung out with some other friends and stuff. So you were in the California area, but go from there. So
Right. Okay. So I was in San Diego area. So meeting a couple of people from camp, like our like Dwayne,
Right.
which is still one of my really good friends now, Dwayne Futrell, which is one of my good friends. But what you got, I don't know if I told you guys. I kind of, I'm pretty sure I did tell you guys. But during camp, I had a girlfriend of mine from high school sweetheart of mine that was pregnant with my baby at that time. So my last time going to camp was actually the same year. I
yeah,
actually had a baby that was being born at the same time. So right after
Oh,
I came out of camp, a few months later, my baby was born. But also that really changed my life. It was a lot, man. I was just telling Brett about this about couple of weeks ago. I was just telling him it was a whole bunch. Going to camp was wonderful. And then right when I came out of camp, I was working with a record label called Villain Records in San Diego, and it was a really cool connection. And I was making music, making beats, singing songs, writing songs, doing things. And the guy I worked with, he had a connection with some really prominent people in the music industry, some groups that made it pretty far, did some touring with Temptations and the Four Tops and groups and Blue Magic and
oh
the good
shit.
old R&B hot groups from the 70s and 80s. And so one of his friends, he had hooked up and got some music to him. And he's been trying to connect with him in August. When I got back out of camp in August, right away, my boy was like, "You won't believe it, man. I got it connected with the New Birth." I'm like, "New Birth? I know. Why does that sound familiar?" It's like, "Yeah, O'Malley Jones, New Birth. That was this one group that got this one song called Wildflower." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and they were on the radio and for years. And so when he hooked up with this brother that he's been knowing, this guy came down within probably like right at the beginning of September. He came down and drove me straight up to LA and walked me straight into Motown Records. And
Shit.
yeah, man, walked me straight into Motown Records, man, with my songs. He already had called Rodney Gordy, which is Barry Gordy's son. He called a couple of people from Sony Records. It was amazing. Like just having just a whole year of all the stuff that was going on. I had a baby on the way. All kind of stuff was happening. And so I went up there to go do that. It was beautiful because they walked me right in. He walked me straight up into the place. And I met Rodney Gordy, which is Barry Gordy's son. They actually offered me a $200,000 deal, but that sounds great. But I had a manager who I was telling you about. He kind of got a little bit like, "Hey, man, if you sign this, they're not going to have me as your producer, and I don't know if I want to release you from my label because I'll need to be the producer with you, and I don't want to be released. I got to release you." And so he didn't want to release me. And so they got a little bit perturbed with the situation because they kept trying to tell him to release, but he wanted a contract. He wanted to become an exclusive producer and manager for me. And since they're Motown, they're like, "Hey, man, we're Motown. What are you talking about? How are you going to be the exclusive manager and producer for this guy? What are
Right.
you
We don't
talking
know you who
about?"
you are,
Yeah,
right?
you're cool and everything. We're glad that you're with him. You helped him produce some of this music and all this stuff. But how can you do this? We don't need you like that. But you are his friend. So since you're his friend, release him from the label you're with. Because I wasn't 18 yet. I
Mm.
wasn't even 17 yet. I was 16, and my birthday is in December. So and I was only going to turn 17. Right. So he didn't release. And so they gave up on the deal. They got upset about it. They said, we'll give you one more month. If we don't hear that you release, we're not here to chase people. So they didn't do it. Now, within that same 2 weeks, tragically, my mother had passed away also.
Yeah.
So my mom had passed away. She passed away, believing and thinking that I'm about to blow up with Motown or go hook up with Sony or one of these, companies. And she passed away in a car accident, right? And then at the same time, about a month and a half later, I had my first baby. My baby was born. So all of this is going on at one time.
Oh my
Every
God.
month, actually life-changing things are happening on a monthly basis right after camp.
But
Right after camp.
you know what though? You had when you were telling me the story, because there's a little more to it, and you kind of see the good and the bad. And talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the thing about it is what you're talking about is really important, really, because you know, as you hear a story like that, wow, this totally blind guy with, a savant in music, people all clamoring, oh God, he can sing, he can rap, he can dance, he can do anything, he can play the piano, he's this, he's that. That's great, that's a gift from God. But when you get close to that, at that age, I kind of knew some things about the music industry, how it's going to be, this, that. But when you're young, you never think it can happen to you though. And when you
No.
see these people talk to you in a way where they really make you feel like you're going to be walking on cloud nine with us,
Yeah.
you're the man, and you're everything. We would never let nothing happen to you. You can feel like you at that age. I just really thought like, wow, they love me. You
Mhm.
know,
Right.
you know,
You see the positive, not the bad stuff. Yeah.
you see, I forgot all about that. Some things I've heard even at 16 years old about people selling their souls, or some bad things about the music industry. At 16, we heard about some of those things before in the 90s. We knew about some of that stuff. We heard some things, but but when you're there and when you're in front of these major record labels and CEOs, and the son of a CEO, which is Rodney Gordy, he's telling me, he's fluffing me up. He's putting these clouds up under my feet. He's playing my music. He's like, man, I already heard about you. I already know about you. And the guy that brought us there, he was like, yeah, man, I sent your tape to him a week ago. They've been having my music for a week. So knowing the things I know now, it's like, hold on, man, he had my music for a week. They were offering me $200,000 contract in 1992. Now I look at it as, wow, you know what? I'm glad that my friend was so stubborn. I'm glad that my friend wasn't releasing me from the label that we had put together, the little label. He was 31 years old. He's already been around the industry, done music, played the bass guitar. Like I said, he had friends that brought me right into that place. My friend had connections. He knew about the industry. He didn't release me. He wanted that exclusive contract. They didn't give it to him. He wasn't releasing me. He wanted to. Not only did he want to get paid, yeah, there was a little greed in there too. Yeah, there was also concern. When I was younger, couldn't listen to him. I was so mad at him. But now I look back, he was telling me things like, "Man, I can't just release you anyway. They can just wisp you off, and I probably won't even see you for like 3 months."
Yep. You didn't realize it because what they were trying to do is snatch you for the lowest cost possible so they can milk you dry.
And that's what ended up happening. But they were going. They had the 200,000. They were going to do it. Whatever they said they're going to sign you for, they're going to sign you for it. You're going to get that cash. But I didn't know at that time that I'm going to have to pay for a lot of stuff. And then I got to watch out how that money was going to spend. I didn't know about all that. I didn't understand all that.
I think they call it recouping. What's the term? Recouping or something like that?
Right, yeah, they're going to have to recoup it out of every record that would have been sold. I wouldn't have got nothing for a long time.
Yeah,
they would have been making the only money I would have made is the money in performing. And they were talking to me about performing. They were talking to me about getting me on the road with Stevie Wonder, and they were going to sell. Yeah, right. Because I'm blind, I'm a rapper.
Right.
So they wanted to connect me with him to start bringing me out there to get me going. You know what I'm saying?
And of course, you bought into the brainwashing of society that the fame and money are the most important things a little bit. And even if you don't think you do, it's so ingrained in our fucking society that just the idea, oh, I could be famous. I'll go with CV Wonder. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever, like you start. At least that's what you know what I'm saying. Like,
you're telling it right. That's exactly.
Yeah.
And at 16 years old, you're like, whoa,
yeah,
right.
45-year-old, I was like, dude, I got this album coming out with this band. What if what happens? It's like now I'm like, fuck, I was so stupid. But anyway, keep going.
But it is. But all of those types of things, you think yourself, because I already had compromised a little bit. Now that I look back, and I'm like, man, you compromised. I never made a couple of freaky jams, but I realized when I made those freaky jams before I even went to camp, I think it was around March.
You made chocolate bar?
I forgot that you remember.
Come on, dude. Chocolate bar was your cut. 1993
bar.
You performed that at the campfire like 3 times, I think. That was the jam of the summer.
Hey, look, that song, man, that was crazy because that camp, man, that song had all the counselors looking for their honeys, looking for their favorite counselor. We had counselors on stage dancing and rubbing up on each other in front of all the blind kids.
Dude, that was back in the day when our goddamn motto was CB's to place to be.
I'm screaming swang, and you came up with that. You came up with that. That was your thing.
That was like a stunt, and they just like they tried to stop it for a little bit, but then it just happened. I'm screaming swang. And you got Matthew Paulson. Oh
God.
I'm screaming swang. Matthew Paulson was this, hi, I'm Matthew, just really cheerful, slower person, obviously. And he was one of those that every year you're like, oh, there's Matthew. Hey, everybody. Yay.
But it was great.
He sang a mean freaking New York State of mind. I'll tell you that much. I'm not a New York.
Actually, he did. He did do a banging ass version of that. That's right. Dude. I forgot about that.
So I got a question for you, man. So we're going to I want to step back for a bit. So I didn't realize this. So you were not blind from birth.
No, I wasn't blind. I wasn't blind from birth. I had lost my eyesight, about a year and a half, almost 2 years right before I went to my first camp.
Holy shit. So this is an interesting question I have for you, because obviously before that you had probably maybe a little bit of information about the blind world, quote unquote, being a blind person. So you also understand sight. So you understand colors. Even now, you understand.
All the colors, everything.
I got some questions for you about your music and how it affects your. Anyway, And
that's
synesthesia.
Also the graphic that you have. I created that graphic, so that's why I was able to do the graphic. It's because I know color.
Right. Right.
So basically, you lose your sight, but before you lose your sight, was it were you in the blind community before you lost your sight?
Yeah. I was because what happened is that I had a detached retina situation when I was born, and I had a detached retina in my right eye also, but it was not all the way off. So my left eye, it was completely already slipped off, but my right eye, it was just it was on pretty good where I can see good. I can ride bikes. I knew what Spider-Man looked like, and I knew what Incredible Hulk looked like.
Gotcha. It was like what my brother has. Same thing, where we both have detached retinas, but he's got in his one eye the retina is completely not attached, and the other eye he does have some vision. So same kind of deal, I guess.
So my point was I was just wondering, because I was wondering, God damn, if he went to camp and didn't realize, because camp is a place that for me, I think when you're visually impaired or blind. Like if you become visually impaired as a kid and you're like, my life is ruined, and then you go to camp and you have the experiences that you do there with these kids, you're like fucking smart, because there's a lot of us who were fucking smart and we were talented and we were like, but we were blind and we were visually impaired, but we still wanted to fuck, we still wanted to whatever, we were still fucking kids, we were still doing the same shit, we still had the same relationships, the same thoughts, we still came together and made music just like the fucking kids, anybody else, right? So the fucking drama of everything. Excuse my language, by the way. If cursing is a problem, I can tone it back. But my point being that we were kids. We were normal, and just because normal is what, we were just people. So I was just wondering if, because you had the experiences before then, obviously, of being around visually impaired people and blind people a lot then.
Yeah, yeah. You know how you have, well, you have the VI classes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So I
So
had the VI classes that I was raised in, but of course, you have your regular classes too, and you gotta
Yeah.
have like,
Yep.
once or twice a day you go to a VI class. If you wanted to get out the class, you could go take a test. And,
No,
Yep.
that's not
No,
why
we never
we
did that.
No, what are you
Oh.
talking about?
yeah,
I
Hey.
spent my life in that classroom every day.
that class said, I need to go to my VI class.
And they go,
Yep.
okay,
Get
yep.
pampered.
Yep. They didn't give it. It was just like, hey,
You just hang out with people who are, who are actually cooler than most of the people that weren't in that class.
You
It's
know
cool.
what I'm saying? Talking,
Yep.
laughing, but then then you get your VI teacher that's like, okay, you guys gotta get to work. Yeah, we are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting work.
We're
'Cause they
working.
loved us.
all
We're
right.
getting our
We
stuff
tried-
done.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I was bad. I ain't gonna lie. I did some bad things.
I think we all did. That's why we can identify with that, because we just, that's the same like Cruise Control saying, oh, I don't want to be in this class today. I got to go to my VH room so I can get my Braille homework or whatever, and then they excuse you, and there you go.
That's crazy. So, but anyways,
I've done that, man. Done some things, man. Yeah, man.
So basically you had this full blindness. You went to camp. You had all the, and then like I said, you had a baby at the same time as all this going on. So obviously it didn't work out.
Month to month after camp. It was wild. After camp, it was month to month. But like I was saying, like, and just saying, like I realized real quick, I wanted to make sure I got that out because we had went into some things, but I want to make sure I get this out, especially for people that are listening. I have made a song that I've never made before. I made a freaky track. Back in the day, some tracks that were really big back then was Luke Skywalker. Okay.
Right.
The Luke Skywalker tracks were really big in '92. It was bumping on the radio.
Me So Horny.
Me So Horny and all types of songs like that. That's right.
Oh yeah.
And so I never made a track like this. I made a track like that, and then I made Chocolate Bar. I made a track like a Luke Skywalker track that you guys never heard. And then I had made a Chocolate Bar track. And then all of a sudden, here within 3 months, I got out of nowhere, all my life working on music, performing all over San Diego. I did videos with a couple of people. I've been on the local TV station a couple of times. All the stuff from 10, 9, 8 years old, doing stuff, dancing, putting groups together. All these things, out in front of the crowds, just rocking houses, doing all types of stuff, going to schools and performing with DJs. And all of a sudden, I write these songs, and within 3 months, I'm getting a $200,000 contract out of nowhere.
I'm telling you, though, Chocolate Bar was a radio-ready song. That should have been on the radio, dude. Honestly, that shit was
crazy. It's crazy because then you look back and you go, whoa, once I got sexual and stopped talking about positive things and
of course.
Out of nowhere, it's like the energy in the air said, we got him. Get him now. Get him.
This is the time. I mean? Yeah.
This is the time. We got him. Boom, bam. All of a sudden, boom, boom. I'm up in LA and boom, boom, bam. I'm eating lunch with these millionaire people and all this stuff happened. Like, it was crazy, man. But when you look back, it's like, whoa, time out. That was wild.
Where do you think you'd be if all that went through? What do you think, you'd be like now, even?
I'll probably be like Kanye West, and there might be 6 of me, and I might be glossy-eyed, and
exactly.
And
no. You look at artists, man. You see them change. Like you see Taylor Swift. Whatever you want to think about Taylor Swift.
True.
When she was 14. She had a guitar, and maybe she wasn't the best singer or whatever. She was writing songs, but she looked human. You look at her now, and it's just this dead-eyed stare. It's like all of them have this stare, and it's like their dopamine or whatever, their receptors are just dead because they get so much positive feedback and no actual real reflection that they lose who they are or something. Like, it's weird watching it happen. So it's almost
or they went on in and they sold their soul and they lived the life. A lot of these people lived a life where we didn't even know, because the industry is always trying to create people that have lived this life but you didn't know. They've been around. They were children that were around rich people or other people that were in the industry.
Yeah.
You didn't know, or other people didn't know, and then they do a whole story around them. Made them seem like they're coming up out of getting it out the mud, and they're on the YouTube. Oh yeah, I got on YouTube, or I got on Instagram, and I got 8,000, 20 million, 40 million views, and then this company came along to come sign me, and that usually is a lie. A lot of times these people are industry plants, but not just that. That's still not right. A lot of these people are people that are nieces and nephews of a lot of these singers, record company owners, executives that you would never see, never know, managers, all of that. And these children have been around the music industry the whole time, and so their life, it has been topsy-turvy, completely different from us, where that they've seen, people that go through rituals and do things, and they think this is their life. They're living the upside down world where good is evil and evil is good. And they're living, and I know some people, you know what I'm saying? I know some stuff, and and not just what I heard or YouTubes, or I know some stuff. And and it's just like, after a while, when you get older, you start realizing that the world is a lot more spiritual than you thought, and the world has a lot more things going on in this world.
You have
than we
no
think it is.
idea, and it's a lot of, and that you also, when you're younger, believe there's no such thing as evil.
Oh yeah. Or if it is, it's never going to
you,
touch you.
You start thinking in like, oh well, there's and you start, like you said, spiritual. Like there is so much more. We have no idea. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And but because we're programmed to chase these things, because that's what keeps the hamster wheel going. We're programmed to chase the money, which is meaningless. Just take a step back and look at money. It's an agreed upon thing of humans. It's paper. It's a number. And then you would think about fame. Fame is all about attention. It's all about verifying your identity. Like, who am I? I'm verified because I can get all this attention. So it's attention and money, which of course is power.
Yeah.
And they dangle it in front of you, and then they say, well, part of it's being productive. So they have this whole thing going on, where like I said, underneath, like you said, and it's definitely a spiritual battle. And like I said, you kind of went with that, but then it didn't work out, quote unquote, work out for you. But that's kind of where the spiritual comes into it, right? I mean, obviously you're grateful for it not, quote unquote, working out for you now, right?
Well, as you look back, but at the same time, my mother had passed away, and my mom passed away within that week, thinking I was about to go in. I had just got that contract, and then a week later, my mom's in a car accident. And so when you see this stuff going, it actually messed with me for years. I was like, did they do something to my mom?
Oh,
because they thought I was about to sign with them, and it's the spiritual aspect starts to really seep in more, because it's like, hold on, wait a minute. This is what, not them, they, because the them and they is different. Okay, the them is the human aspect. The they is the spiritual side aspect. And because I'm trying to figure out because for years after that, I was like, what the hell, man? Wait a minute. And so it was really wild. And plus, I had got into a few car accidents at the same time. Once I didn't sign, all of a sudden I was within, let's see, my mom had passed away within a week after. In October, I got into two car accidents. As a matter of fact, I got into one car accident with someone Jeff. I was just talking to my people about it, and then I was talking to Silverhammer here, Cruise Control, about it. We were talking about Kevin. He was one of the counselors.
Oh yeah. Dude, I've hung out with Kevin multiple times outside of camp. We went to Magic Mountain.
Wasn't he maintenance? I thought he was a maintenance guy, wasn't he?
He was maintenance. Yeah,
maintenance.
Or kitchen or maintenance.
Right.
He was actually he was actually a camper too.
Right. And I went to school with him for years, from elementary all the way up to high school. And I watched him do his wrestling and get real big and strong. I remember him when we were young, and he was skinny. He was one of the skinniest people I knew. Then I watched him get bigger and bigger every year because he went to all the schools I went to down in San Diego.
And then he met. I know. I think he married some a counselor from camp who passed away, Claire. He went to camp as well as a counselor. So yeah, right. Kevin. So anyways, yeah, keep going.
So you're riding with Kevin?
No. No, he didn't marry. He married a one of my blind friends named Elma.
Elma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was dating Elma. Yep, he was dating Elma for a while. They actually married? They did marry then, huh?
They got married for a while, and so we were in a car around October. We had it was right on the end of October. We were my girl at that time, my high school sweetheart at that time. She had went to the hospital because she thought she was having the baby, so she was in the hospital. And while she was in the hospital, I was out getting us a spot, getting us a place. I had some money saved up. I had my checks coming in now that my mom had passed away, and they had signed my SSI checks over to me, and I was staying with some family members, so I was saving up money. Plus, my mom had been saving up money for a while, so I got that money, and I was like, okay, well, she's in the hospital. She's thinking something, all these things are wrong. She's having complications. I'm going to get over here and be a man, right? I'm not even 17 yet, but I'm like, I'm going to get over here and be a man. And I'm about to go get us a place. I'm about to go talk to these people, show them that I'm emancipated. My mother passed away. I have no parents. I'm a man now. I'm out here. I'm doing it, And so Kevin and Elma were driving me around. So they had also picked me up from the hospital that one time, and we got into a car accident. Kevin had fell asleep behind the wheel, y'all.
Oh shit!
On the freeway.
Oh fuck.
Whoa.
On the freeway. He fell asleep behind the wheel on the freeway. We were all talking and he just got quiet. All right. And we were still talking, him and me and his girl, Elma, which is totally blind too. Elma is totally blind also. She's mixed with Mexican and Portuguese or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know who she is. Yeah, she's actually my ex's girlfriend, Michelle, that I dated for a while.
That's right. Friends with Michelle best friend. From Colorado.
Yep.
Damn, man. The wide web. Anyway.
It is.
Yeah, keep rolling.
Yeah, keep it going. And so he fell asleep behind the wheel. So the reason why I'm bringing all these things up, because everything that happened right out of camp was crazy. It was boom, beam, pow, beam, boom, pow, literally.
Right?
Literally. The stuff that was going on is the type of stuff that would happen in years for other people. 2 years later, 1 year later, 5 years later, 10 years later. I was getting it all one by one every month. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
So we jumped. So we jumped over the edge. Where you have the on ramp and you're supposed to turn off. Instead of us turning off, we just kept going straight.
Oh fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. And then we just went right on. Only, I can only say, we caught a blessing that it wasn't just a drop right there straight down to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
The next freeway below, it was a bunch of those ice plants and a bunch of other little rocks and boulders. So it stopped the car from going all the way down to the bottom.
Jesus.
Instead of just keep going. But we went over and car was just doing all kind of bumping and bumps and going up and down, left and right. It was about to flip over, but it just did not flip. And so we got out. Of course he woke up, right?
Yeah, at that point he better have.
Yeah. And so that happened. But then we were good. None of us got injured. The windows broke, but none of us were injured. I don't know how that happened, but it didn't happen. Okay. It's it just that was an amazing situation, right?
Yeah.
And then I got my house, and then I got my apartment. At 16, got my apartment, got a place in San Diego for my baby to come back to, and then I had my baby, and then I had my life, man. My life started moving on down. I kept doing music, performing, working with groups, bands, creating music, doing a lot of things, and for years and years and years, it seemed like every time I was about to do something great, it just wouldn't go through. Every time. Now I'm a lot smarter, understood. I started doing my own little label. I started working on a lot of my own things. And I never, ever got to that level where I can get a big contract. I really didn't care. I was all independent thing because I realized I started learning more about this music industry and what they do, how they treat their artists, what artists got to go through, and what artists accept to do with themselves, selling themselves out. And so, I got turned off for many years. So now that we're here, now we're up to a point where now I have a label that I work with, that I started. It's called Christ Fire, and and I not only I'm doing music, I'm producing now, I'm writing. I got a few different people that work with me, but I'm also creating graphics with this AI. I've learned to use AI to create my own graphics instead of waiting on people to do my graphics for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You
Yep.
like, like
Oh my
like
God.
you said, cruise control. We smart. We smart.
Not citing existence, man. That's the most annoying shit to have to wait for a sighted person.
You always want to try to do as much as you can for yourself.
Yes.
Because then you know what, because you know what and also you also know when you need other people's help that way.
Yep. That's true.
You gotta be kind of smart, because once you figure out what you can do, and that's especially with AI. I'm all for AI. We've talked about it before. I'm working on a song right now that I just called I just started thinking about today, and what I do scatting and stuff like that, and I write my own stuff. Like I actually have stuff out with a group called Zoomer, Zumur. So you want to check that out. Anybody else out there wants to check that out? Well,
shameless plug.
Hell yeah, man! Shameless plug, both of our shit, man. Yeah, because we've got, like I said, I'm a lyricist, but I'm also a musician in terms of composing. Like I hear the whole song in my head at once. So and I've been thinking about visually impaired people in music, and the fact that I see patterns in my head of songs, I see colors as sounds and that kind of stuff, and it's almost like a thing that a lot of visually impaired people have to do. But like I said, I recognize, and when I heard your shit today, like I said, I was like, holy shit! Like the first song we had was "Losing Humanity," and this is probably a good spot to
play something else, feed him something else,
play something else. And then we'll come back after this, and then we'll just get into current life and everything else going on.
What do you think? What song you think next there, Nashayah?
Man, you know what? I'm thinking okay, so Losing Humanity is the vision. We didn't even go into what we have so much to talk about. Isn't that wild? We got so much to talk about. We're such good friends from the past. We got so much to talk about. But right. So what I'll do is real quick. I'll throw this in real fast. Is that Losing Humanity? The reason why I even did a song like that is because of what's going on out here in the world today. Mm-hmm. Right? What's happening in the world? What are we going through? The politics, which I call politricks. All of that. I'm not with the blues or the reds. I'm not doing gang things. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yes.
We're not doing that around here. We don't do that. We're not running that. Okay, we're not running divisions around here. Not running the divisions white and black and whatever color. We can't do that. And so Losing Humanity is about losing humanity by even going down those roads and how we act, how we treat each other. So the song that was played first is the song that's being pumped right now from the Vision Beyond Sight album. I'm going to the studio this week to work on another song that I want to drop out. It's coming out soon. It's called Christ is on the Way. And it's just an uplifting track, you know what I'm saying, to get into a more spiritual sense, get into a more sense of what's going on, because there's so much more out there that's unseen that we haven't accepted out here. And a lot more people are accepting the sounds of darkness. So I'm all about shutting down the sounds of darkness, meaning like if I didn't know you, and if I'm hearing your music and I didn't know you, I can tell that you're really all about doing like satanic type stuff. I can't. I'm not with it. Now, if I know you and you're just crazy and you're just writing about 12-inch nails and blades coming out the sides of your socks when you walk.
What are you talking about there?
Yeah. Silver Hammer's on the line. But and then I ate.
I like the blades coming out the socks though. I haven't thought about that one. That's pretty cool.
And they flipping out. They flip out as you walk. You make sure you coin that. I coined that with you. Okay. That's a
Nashayah gets props on that one.
Don't worry. My stuff's, you don't have to worry about that with me. My stuff's about the meaning of life and self-actualization and shit like that. So So it's all
Maybe y'all
good.
can
That's why I
collab
like
on
your
something.
stuff. I like your stuff because your stuff is going up. That is going there too. So
Yeah. It's about the meaning of life. We got to talk about energy, man, and moving energy the right way, but not
positive songs.
yeah,
Positive,
right. But not,
you know.
but not new age. It's not new age. I learned that before. I used to think, oh yeah, I'm doing like the new age, new era type music because I'm talking about positive. But then I've been studying over the years about going too hard into the new age, not going against anybody out there that does. But I've learned we have to watch out these days because a lot of the spiritual sense out there right now is dulled. It is dulled on purpose. And our light has been dulled. Our thought process has been dulled, where we are leaning, just like what you were saying earlier, Cruise Control, earlier tonight, about, following the money, following this, that. Once we start being stuck on those types of things, we don't take the time out to know that we have a light that is being dulled. And the light is being dulled by society because everybody else's society is on some things that are not about helping each other rise. We don't have a rising spirit. Our spirit is being quenched, right? We come around each other and we're down on each other before we even know each other. Okay.
You know what? And that's where I think Champions Rise Up should be the next track we play.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm feeling. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Look at that
killer fucking riff.
Killer
riff. All right, let's go with with that. Let's go with Champions Rise. This is the Nothing Sacred interview.
Yes, with Nashayah Napash. We'll be right back.
You need to rise up. The valley of the dead bones is getting up. Ahaya got your back. This is your time. This is the moment to rise up. Strong enough to hold the skies up. Might surprise ya. They witnessing the truth even with their eyes shut. Greediness of the lost souls make them have to buy trust. And calibrating everything that I'm learning. Young kid with grown thoughts with the backwoods burning. And as a rapper on the block, it's like I'm giving a sermon. If he confirming that this jive, you must be determined. So keep vigilant. But thug cats get belligerent. This might be the time to get militant. Learn how to kick it with the hustlers on the block. Shoot a Glock and swell up a knot and watch them become your favorite neighbors, cause they be on the lookout for the man's ill-file behavior. Now you should stack gold and silver by the ounce, no doubt. That's what this game's all about. Welcome to the gathering of 30,000 champions. We got enough to make the whole world wanna take a stand again. I need my audience to rise up and stick it to the man again. We got them hits to make you wanna raise your hands again. Hands again. Rise up. Yeah, I know you feel this. Rise up. Yeah, cause this is real, yeah. Rise up. So is you with it? Rise up. Do I gotta witness? Why is it so difficult to get different people together? That would be lethal. Lethal injection for the puppet makers. No strings attached for those who run the capers. Tell me who's the one behind the desk in the background. Face hidden from the mainstream where this act down. Controls Wall Street and the black market. For saying this, man, I become a rap target. Automatically, it's protecting the wall. I got a strategy with 30,000 troops involved. Covert operations under the radar. Pack your guns, your fool, your Teflon and your Kevlar. Seems to be that they lose their humanity and them alienic tendencies. I would not bend the knee. Come from the higher, walk with Messiah. White boy, black boy against the empire. Welcome to the gathering of 30,000 champions. We got enough to make the whole world wanna take a stand again. I need my audience to rise up and stick it to the man again. We got them hits to make you wanna raise your hands again. Hands again. Rise up. Yeah, I know you feel this. Rise up. Yeah, cause this is real, yeah. Rise up. So is you with it? Rise up. Do I gotta witness? Rise up. Yeah, how you doing tonight? This is real, isn't it? That's what we're feeling and what we're going through, right? Yeah.
Champions Rise Up, man.
Damn
And
right,
you even
man.
said that. where you
Yep.
said if people link up with people, it will get lethal. You
Yeah.
know, in that song.
Now
So
we
it's
just
like-
need to find. Now we just need to find 29,997 more champions because we got three of them here. So.
Right.
30,000 champions in a stadium that is rising up against the man, right? Rising
Yes.
up against the and you know, some people might say, "Oh no, man, you know that you mean rising up." That sounds no. What that sounds like is people actually deciding that, you know what, I'm not going to be caught into the red and blue, the
Mhm.
black and white, and I'm not caught into all this stuff that is going to put me against anybody. I don't want to be against anybody.
Yeah.
I want to live a logical, rational life that I can see. And I also understand that there's a spirituality that has been taken from me.
Mhm.
So everybody might have their own level, right? Their level where they might not be at your level at your time, but you're not there to pressure them about their level. You're not there to
Yes.
try to conquer them about their level. You're there to talk to them about your experience. Let them tell you their experience, and let's learn from each other's experience. We're not learning anymore.
No.
You know, we don't learn nothing anymore from each other. We're already shutting down
Or
and shutting
you
off.
learn steps like to get somewhere else. Like this is the problem that I have with a lot of spiritual stuff because I've been delving into a lot of it, and there's a lot of it out there. And the true spiritual people, like the true people, like what the problem that happens is these people have like quote unquote enlightenment where they have a great idea, and then they go out and they try to convert other people to that idea. And then they try to, and then they make so like that when you're talking about the spiritual stuff, there's a lot of spiritual stuff that's basically like are being doled. It's a lot of it's because it's goal oriented. You know, it's like, oh, well, I can be spiritual, so I'm going to awaken my soul, and then I'll make $100 million because I'll manifest. You know, or right, like they. So like when you're talking about like what you're talking about right there is almost like your pride and your ego getting in the way. Like I got to show these people how to wake up because I'm seeing it myself. Because over the last 6 months, I've had some profound insights about things in my life. And it's just been like just incredible. So my first instinct is, oh, I got to let people know that what this is right, and then you get clouded by that too. So it's like there's so many little like things that go into it. And I know I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but the point is,
you're not on a tangent at all.
Yeah.
You're not on a tangent. You're hitting it right on. You got exactly what I'm saying. It's because it's levels, and you might not be exactly where I am at the time, but it's all right. If I recognize and if I am at a level that I say I am or I think I am, then that level I'm at should be able to coexist with your level.
exactly.
Why? Because I am not here to conquer you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not here to downplay you. And I'm also not here to assimilate you. I'm not trying to absorb you into what I'm doing. Well, look, you need to do it my way. Because my way is the
or
best.
else.
Yes. And there's different levels to different levels. Some people are ahead, quote unquote, in other ways. Some people are ahead in different ways. So you look at people as individuals. And then when you do that, you realize that you know, that all that bullshit, the red, blue, the black, white, all that stuff, is like you said, a distraction. And it's an othering. And when you're talking about losing humanity, what you're meaning is you're not like me, so you're not actually human because you're the other. You know, like so you're black, oh, you're red, so you voted for those. So now it's even within the freaking parties. You're MAGA and you support Israel. Well, you're not really MAGA. And I'm like, just look at these people going, dude, you realize what you're talking about? You're literally religifying. It's getting worse, and that's what they want, like you said. So it's rise up is not about rising against, in my mind, against like grabbing weapons. It's about opening up your mind and realizing what the fuck is going on. Like realize what the heck is going on and going, oh my God, I'm seeing the connections here. I'm not going to be fooled by this anymore.
Right. That's exactly it, man. You hit it right on. You heard exactly what I was saying.
What I was going to say, though, even if those who can't see, if they probably can't see, then they can see what you're saying.
You remember that track, right?
Oh, come on. OG shit.
Hey, man, you're bringing out some hitters. You know? That song right there that you just mentioned right now, Silverhammer, that song was one of the songs that truly had me understanding that people don't see what they think they see. They don't see it. They don't
Right.
want to see it. And it's okay. There are people that see things that they want to see, but it's really not there. Now, when somebody hears that, they go, oh man, you're talking in riddles. No, I'm not. This is what it is. If you're seeing something that you think you want to see, then you're going to see that. Even if everybody else, all 20 other people see something completely different, but you see this. That's because you want to base your life and base your existence and base what you do on something else. You don't want to base it on what's happening right now. Now, that's not a problem, but it becomes a problem when you want to conquer with it, when you want to force with it, when you want to overtake with it, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah,
But when you're doing what you want, you do what you want, it's cool. I'm one of those guys. I ain't tripping on you because you know what? I have experienced something that's crazy. I experienced things that'll scare you. I experienced things that'll make your hair stand up on the back of your neck and go, no way. I experienced things that you probably have never experienced or didn't even think was real. But because you know me, perfect. Now we have crossed paths. Perfect. We're meant to know each other. We're meant to talk to each other. We're meant to rub energies together. I'm putting my hand out to you.
Yeah.
Put your hand out to me. We shake right here.
Synchronicity and resonance.
That's right. Synchronicity and resonance. Because not everything is a coincidence. You can't, everything kind of comes together the way it's supposed to. You start learning that, not because you get older. It comes with experience on things. You know what I mean?
It also comes with a certain mindset. Like that's why a lot of people don't, because you have to actually look at things and see beyond what we've been programmed to, which is material stuff. Our whole existence in the society is based around consuming and materialism, money, objects, the relationship. The relationship now is a checklist. Everything is a means to an end. It's a means of stepping forward. And it's always a progression, right? It's always, I'm doing this instead of just looking at things going, holy shit. Like, I've seen 11:11 8 times in the last 5 days. Or and you start going, why is that? And you start seeing these things in your own mind. And then you start seeing how people tick in front of them, like in real time. And you're like, wait, I see that mask. I see that I see the mechanisms behind all this bullshit. And that's when it really starts to get scary. Because you're like, shit.
It's almost like you can't unsee it at that point. So you're like,
you can't.
Fuck.
Yeah, you can't. Once you know something like that, once you start realizing, like, I didn't believe in God. I wouldn't say I didn't believe. I just stopped thinking about the idea about 8 months ago. Not 8 months. Like I would say 8 or so months ago. And then over the last 6 months, I've had profound changes in my worldview. And now I absolutely believe there's a higher power. Not a Christian higher power.
And look what you just said.
And
look what you just said right now. Look what you just said right now. This is something right there. What you just said is just a microcosm of other people, most people, some people that truly don't understand what that would mean. What people that just heard that right now are going to say, cruise control, what do you mean by that? And you can explain it.
And it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's like explaining sight. It's like explaining sight to Brett. Max.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not there, it's not going to mean anything. It's just going to be words. So if you can't identify with it, then it'd be like talking to me about how it is to see. Like I have no idea.
Or even really, like you said, the implications. And if you go deep, and this is what's the term? The abyss stares back at you. You start, like I said, I'm on that path is what I'm saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Path. And that's a good path because the path you're on is a great path. And I'm not here to overtake your path or make you feel like
you can't understand mine. It's my own. It's just like yours is your own. So to do so is futile anyways.
But the only thing is, there's a part that I always try to talk to people about. We like to be right now, especially nowadays. I'm on my journey, you're on your journey. That's the word that you are coming from right now. A lot of people say, well, I'm on my own journey. But guess what? You're on your own journey, but I am here. And that's the part that has to be more open. You're right what you're saying, too. But there's a problem in what you said, too.
It's the paradox. Yeah, because I didn't explain the other half of it.
Even though it is your experience, that's true. But I'm here. So meaning that I'm here for you. You might not know it, but guess what? The energy knows it. The sense knows it. The paradox that we are in, it knows. And so since it knows, it's what we would call the God energy, the God gene, the God spark. It has put us together at this very moment to even talk about what you and I are talking about right now.
Like collective consciousness is also a way of framing it.
And there's a part in that, right? The collective consciousness.
So what you are, like, we're basically different perspectives of God, in my opinion. In other words, we're like kind of like seeing existence in our own ways. And so what I meant by that is that it's almost like I said, describing yourself to somebody else. When you're at peace with like knowing where you are in your own mind, you don't need to command other people. You don't need to, because there's no need, because you know you can't, first of all, truly. And then you also know that that's actually, you know what I'm saying? Like the conquering is almost like it's almost like a betrayal of it's hard to explain, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
No. Yeah. You're right. Because it's actually a portrayal of true humanity. Get straight to it. Because what it is, the conquering is what we have to, we have that old saying, if you don't learn from your past, you're doomed to repeat it, or you're doomed to repeat your mistakes. That comes from that, right? Because there are things that we have to learn. But like I said, if I'm here and I'm telling you, hey, check it out, I've learned some things, I've experienced some things, and you said you experienced some things over the last 6 months. Check it out, brother. We can talk about it. Don't feel like that you got a heavy weight on your shoulder, like you can't tell me, because I'm going to tell you right now, my ear is open to hear your experience, and your experience is going to teach me something. Yeah. I'm not going to take your experience and go, oh man, this guy is tripping. No, we do that too much. That's how we're losing humanity. Absolutely. We're losing humanity because people are upset. People get too upset too fast. That's one thing. People are judgmental too fast. That's another thing. And I'm learning that when we're losing our humanity, we're losing our humanity because we're doing things at a rapid rate. And so everything you look at that comes at a rapid rate usually is a negative thing. It usually ends off something negative. Rapid rates is not the way to go. We're supposed to go smooth, easy, and cool, man. Take your time and learn something. Take your time and absorb what's going on around you, not to absorb people's, ideas and all that, and be like, your crap is whack. My crap is great. We can't be doing this. We can't do this type of stuff. We can't, man.
And we're pushed into that because society demands it. Society demands you to go because it's production. Go, consume, produce, consume.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to divide too.
Absolutely.
In that case,
because it's a score too. So when you see someone with a score higher than yours, they're getting all these things that you suppose
they're better than you are. Yeah.
And then they're better than you, and then they're and then it goes to everything. But you're right. So yeah. I'm in total agreement.
Totally tracking with this shit, man.
Yeah.
So back to the music for a second. Let me ask you this, because I'm curious. Do you use autotune in any of your music?
Yeah, matter of fact, in Losing Humanity, I use autotune on the chorus, the main chorus, when the drum comes in, right when the beat comes in, you hear the drum come in, and you will hear my background voice. But it's a soft autotune. I usually use autotune in a way to just to tune my vocal to make sure it's right as a tool.
And that's right,
use it completely.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, because I'm like, I think that's his natural voice. I don't think he needs auto-tune. So apparently you are using a little bit, but just not enough to.
The problem with auto-tune is that when people say that's how their voice sounds naturally, or when they use it in live performances and stuff like that on their own voice without it being part of the change in the voice, like when they're trying to mask them not being able to sing in tune.
Right.
And I think the problem with auto, that happens a lot now, and I think the problem with auto-tune is that it's training singers to sing like auto-tune and not the faults in their own voice.
Well, it's good. It's a nice compliment to your voice, man. It sounds good.
It's a tool,
right?
It's a tool.
and it makes you sound good. That's why at first I was like, no, that's his natural voice. He's not using auto tune, I don't think. And then I'm listening to it,
No,
like,
no. The
but a
thing
little bit.
is, but the thing is the okay. So check it out. So I'm a little wild with it, right? So when I'm in the studio, I have my natural voice and I use it, right? My natural
Yeah,
voice is the you can tell like when Losing Humanity first comes on, you can hear my when I first start singing, you can tell that I'm not using an auto tune. I'm singing in a gospelish, soulful type sound. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And then you kind of hear the little choir vocals come in the background with me. None of that's all auto tune. But what it is though is that as artists, even the greatest artists, no matter what, we want to make sure that we're on key and that we're not singing flat and that we're not singing sharp.
Hmm.
What the best thing what autotune was created really originally just to help to bend your note just a little bit to make sure that you are not singing flat, off key, all sharp sounding. They wanted to make sure that that note went really nice with the chords that the piano is playing, that your strings are playing, that the
Right.
guitar is playing, because the guitar has to get tuned up. So like when the guitar is getting tuned up, if you're around a friend that plays it, you're here when they're tuning it up, they'll go wow and make like it's like a rising sound,
Right.
right?
I've heard. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're tuning it and they're twisting the tuning knobs at the top. They're twisting and they'll hit the note. And as they hit the note, boom, and they don't just hit the note, boom, they go boom. Because they're
Right. They
tuning.
take it up or take it down. Yeah. Yeah. I've
Right,
heard that too.
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so keeping that in the thought, kind of know how auto tune is. So when you use auto tune, you can take that auto tune actually, and you can pitch with auto tune in a certain way. And auto tune also helps you to tune to your music. So what you do is you already know, and I know Cruise Control knows that when you're doing auto tune, you tell the auto tune what key your song is in. We're in the key of D, or we're in the key of E, or we're in the key of F minor, F sharp. And then autotune is like, okay, well, F sharp. So now I know that when I sing, it's going to, when it's recorded, it's going to keep me leveled. And that what autotune was supposed to do, keep me in my key, keep me from not falling off. But then if you take the knob of autotune and twist it to the high, now we got me. I know where you going now. Wow. Now all of a sudden, right, we're doing all these types of
Well,
right.
see, you're using it. You're using it properly, where a lot of people aren't. They don't even like notes. You're going F sharp and a this and an E minor, and I'm like, most of these people that you hear using autotune can't even.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Well, it's like any other tool. It's not it's used in a specific way for people that like that specific sound.
Right. Right.
But my biggest issue with, like I said, with auto tune is what I'm hearing is that people are trying to naturally sing like auto tune because they think that's how people naturally sing. So that's why all these voices now are either like there's nobody crooning anymore. There's nobody throwing out the vibrato as much. It's like there's definitely obviously bands.
Oh, that's the word.
It is.
There's nobody just going, I love my voice. Like they're not.
Yes, vibrato. You don't hear that too often.
Because it's an imperfection, and what they're trying to erase is imperfection in a lot of voices, and it's causing singers to sing like they can reach that perfect pitch, and when you don't want to. Music is not especially singing is about the individual voice. So like there's a bunch of people online that like, and it's not concerning. Like I said, if you're like you admit you use autotune, like if you said, oh, I don't use that, it's just me hearing every single note, and you're like, no, I use it because it's a tool, right? But there are people out there that literally have live performances, like they'll do their little YouTube thing and they'll be using it live now because it can correct your voice live. Like even Celine Dion was doing this
Oh
for
God.
the Olympics. And it's like, why do you need to do that? People don't want to hear, they want to hear your voice,
Natural voice.
So anyway, that's my little rant on that.
But with the autotune, I mean, now it's a hip hop thing, right? And so it helps the rappers that are the new style of rapping over the last 10 years. They're vocalists. They're vocalizing. They're not singing. They're not really rapping.
Yeah, and then they try to auto tune it to vocalize it.
That's it.
Right.
That's
Right.
it.
God, it's
So
anti.
Now since they want to sing so bad, the rappers want to be singers and the singers want to be rappers. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yes, that's very accurate.
And now it's become this style that sounds really alien, but it's also supposed to be like because that's what happens too. Is in my mind, I think that's part of what you were talking about, how like the music goes towards sex and the music goes toward like material things, but it's not just the lyrics; it's the music itself is so. Like you hear your stuff, it's like, whoa, you know what emotion you're trying to get from it. I mean, Champions Rise is literally about I'm gonna climb a damn mountain like with my bare hands. Like makes you feel because you know exactly what you're trying to do, and like it's not like this. It's almost like you said, they're doling people with the music and stuff, and they're taking away the joy in music. Like I'm
the light. They're taking that light away. It has no light. And there was a lot of this was planned, man. And this, when you know that things are planned, it's time for us to realize we're in the year 2025, allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly.
Like it may not be 2025.
Well,
for real.
It depends on what calendar you're going by.
Yeah, that's true. That's a whole nother can of worms, man.
That's an interesting because it goes to the same thing. So who knows what? Maybe like the split was in 2012. Who knows? I don't know.
So other countries like Japan, if I'm correct, they're like in 3,000, like 2070 or something. Damn. And then you got another country that I came across, I think last year. Or was it this year? They were talking about that they're in the 1800s.
What? Okay. So everybody has a different way of measuring time, I guess, as it were.
And so my main point is that in the time that we're in right now, everybody should already have a clear understanding that we have a problem. The problem is that everything that had light is being snuffed out. So if you didn't believe in what we would call God or a divine or a spiritual or the creator of all, or you didn't have a name, cool, whatever. But now more people are starting to gather in, but then you have the opposite. There are much more people that are bounding away. And the thing is, the problem with all that is, this is a light. It's a positive thing. Why would you bound away for something that's positive that means you well? Now, somebody will say, I went through a lot of situations in my life when I was young. I had this situation with my mom, my dad, my uncle, my family. My cousin treated me this way. They were church-going people. They were them Bible thumpers, whatever, and you can't stand those kind of people. But whatever you might say it is, the reason that takes you from the light or a type of light that is a positive influence on most people that understand it. So the thing is this, my main point when I do music is that my true core is you don't believe it. Whatever that light is to most people, you don't believe it. But all of us over here are saying, well, I got a light about this, there's a light about that. It might be a little different from this person, but they're talking about something positive and they got a light with it. These other people over here, they have dulled their light, got rid of the light, went to some dark stuff, unnecessarily gruesome, all kind of whatever levels. But guess what? The people that are in control of this world, the rulers of this world, while you're over here talking about you don't believe in God, you don't believe in a divine power, whatever you want to call it. Different people say different things, like I said. But these guys over here, they believe in something bigger than what you believe. They believe in something because they're doing rituals. They're doing all types of things. They're following the numbers. They're making sure that their family has the right bloodline. They're doing all kinds of stuff right in your face. They're doing the Olympics. When they do the Olympics, they're doing rituals right in front of you at the Olympics. But you're looking at it, go, oh, that's cool. Look at the golden guy dropping
And
out
really,
of the
it's
sky with the
sinister.
wings on his back.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're doing rituals right in front of you that are Greek god rituals. The pantheon of rituals. Greek mythology, rituals. And when you go look up Greek mythology, you start realizing everything's about this type of God, does this type of God. And they're doing those types, and they're worshiping the stuff right in front of your face. You got our singers and all of our celebrities. They're doing rituals in your face all the time. You think it's something cool, you think it's stupid, you think it's whatever. They're just doing some funny stuff to get a shock value. But yet everybody's doing it though, from a baseball player to Britney Spears. So why they're doing the same stuff, but they're in completely different genres of life, categories of life, understanding levels of life, but they're doing the same thing. And these people are filthy, dirty rich. And they have controllers that are controlling this world. And those people are doing things too. But you don't believe nothing though. Oh, you're too good for it. You're stupid. You believe in God. You believe in that. You believe in, oh, that's dumb. I'm not into all that. Get away from me with all. But the people you like, the music you bump, the music you play, the music you do, you show, the clothes you wear, the stuff you buy, the thing. Hey, check it out. All of those companies, they all believe in something. They're going somewhere to go worship something, and they show it to you all the time when they cover their eye, put the one hand over their eye. They do all the they got the upside down crosses. You're like, hold up. They don't, this person don't care nothing about no church or Christian anything. But why in the world do they got upside down crosses in their videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why? So you're at, and people also don't want to recognize that there are bad people in the world. Doing bad things and doing it intentionally.
Well, you know what? And Cruise Control, you pointed this out earlier when you said when we're kids, we don't realize evil, or we don't think it can touch us. So we might think it's out there. But so it's almost like this Bart Simpson syndrome, where people don't want to grow up anyway. So they don't want to see the evil in things.
Well, because to take evil in things, you have to be responsible for your actions, and you have to look at your actions. And go, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah,
accountability
for
your actions, and like you were talking about before, how they affect other people. And that's the danger of thinking I have my own way and I live my own way. If you don't realize that everyone else does too, so it's like this. So you have to like work like we're all connected. But accountability, it's literally I slept with this girl, I cheated on this guy, I did that because of this, because I was 10 and my mom slapped my dad and my dad's whatever, or I was 17 and then everyone else starts doing it for everyone else, because if everyone else can do it for everyone else, then someone can do it for them when they fuck up, and they can have an excuse. So it's like this safety fucking safety blanket of just of non-accountability, because you did it too, like and then when people, and that, so that also leads, like I said, that leads to jealousy, because the people that have more than you, if what you did was not your fault, then what they have is probably something that they did that wasn't their fault too. So why do they have it when you don't?
And you don't, and they don't deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah, I should deserve it. Yes.
Who does deserve it? Well, I get to determine that. Why do you get to determine that?
And that's where you come back to our conversation of determining, because that's where the losing humanity is. That's where the champions rise up. That's where the core of my music that I do comes in. That's the whole core. The core is exactly that. Our accountability is in subject. Our accountability is in limbo. Why is it in limbo? Because my accountability should not overtake yours or nothing, but it's supposed to work with you. I'm here.
Yeah.
That's what I told you earlier. I'm here, Cruise Control. You went through some things. Hey, I'm here. I'm here to hear. I'm here to listen. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to learn something from your experience. This is a problem, We're not learning from people's experience. I'm going to always come back to that because that's where it's at. I can't state how much that is big for all of us to learn from someone else's experience.
Yeah.
Stop listening to people tell you something and letting it drill right out in the back of your head. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing? They're human. They're good people, especially if you know them. You're supposed to remember them. You're supposed to be like, hold on, this is my friend. Yeah, they're
Right.
saying something that really putting goosebumps up my arm.
Well,
But this is my friend.
well, that goes back to the accountability thing, though. You know, if you don't listen and don't pay attention and you wind up repeating the same mistake, then you can play victim too.
Oh, I can. Oh,
Yeah.
sounds like fun because this is what our relationship level is. Like what Cruise Control was talking about, the relationship level. You even mentioned that earlier. Matter of fact, you mentioned that a while back. That so Hammer about the relationships that when you could get into it, we can get deeper into that because this he hit it right on the nose. Accountability is something that takes us to a level where I have a girl. I like her a lot. She's wonderful. She's super sweet. She's telling me I'm super sweet. We super sweet, super. And then all of a sudden, she's over here bringing her past into our relationship.
Uh-huh. Yepper.
Here we go. And this is why a lot of us are not married yet, and we can't hold on to a chick. And then what do we start doing? Oh, forget women or forget men. Oh, they're too much. I can't deal with them.
Right.
And all of that is accountability. Not that it's not you that you need accountability. It really could honestly be the person that you were with. They kept bringing some stuff in that really messed it up for both of us. And we have to be honest. And they don't have the accountability to be real about it and say, you know what, babe, I'm messing it up for us. I keep bringing in what he did to me in the past. I keep acting like you're going to do that to me, but you're nothing like him.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, that's it. It's the people, not just, it's plural, not just the person. Like one person brings some bad shit to the relationship or a past or something. Now you've got a bunch of different relationships that you've had that kind of ended similarly. You know what I mean?
Ran in together. And now that just what Cruise Control was saying earlier, now you have him, this person was with that person said that, and now you don't take accountability for what you did because this person, yeah, it's running in together. Now it becomes a blur. And now in society, we have what we were talking about earlier. We got everybody just straight pop, trying to get in, pop a nut and pop out. Now we got women in college talking about, yeah, I got a body. you know,
Right. At 18.
now the women are trying to act like the men now. Oh, great. Now we got the finest chicks on the planet walking around trying to act like the men. Great. This is what we really need.
Right.
Well, that's the accountability too. I can sleep with whoever I want and I should be respected for it still.
Yeah, I am not a hoe. How dare you? What do you mean I'm a hoe? I'm not a hoe. I'm a thunk. I got that thunk. What are you talking about?
or it's like I don't find you attractive. Why? Because you slept with a lot of people. How dare you?
You judge me. You're judging me. You're
what? Like why do you care? You care because you know what you're doing and your soul is wrong, or in your heart, and you're upset because I'm calling it out, and I'm not going to stand for that in my relationships because I've got boundaries and standards. Yeah.
What about the energy? What
too.
about the energy that's being transferred from sleeping with a lot of people? I mean, hey, I had my time where I was mad at women, so I thought I was just going to run through women. When I had got a divorce from my high school sweetheart, I divorced her, and I was like, man, I got a place. I was like, when I came into the door the first time I came into the door, man, I came into the door like Superman and ripped my shirt off and did a and I'm like screaming because I'm about to go haywire. I'm about to go Credible Hulk on chicks. Chicks gonna come into my spot. I'm about to set it up. I'm about to have all these honeys running through, and all I'm doing is making it worse. What I sing about, what I rap about my whole life, all the songs in my whole life that I talk about coming together, doing this, being better. Hey, all the stories that I talked about, all this with my friends, I got this story about this stuff. All of that was getting put to the wayside so I could just start breaking some hearts. And when you break hearts, you're breaking more than just breaking hearts. Everything has a consequence in the energy that we put out there. The energy we put out there, that consequence is doling the light. And we're doling the light in different directions. As we said earlier, it's coming from all directions of life. There is no way you can get away from it. None of you, none of us. We can't get away from this. This is something we have to be accountable for.
Yes.
What is going to be your point, and what are you going to do to keep that light going?
And the accountability is generating it within yourself. And then if other people generate it within themselves, then guess what? You have 7 people doing it, and then the light gets brighter. It's an individual thing that's connected to everyone else, because if an individual does it and grows, and if we all look at it in that way, then guess what? Now you got 30,000 people that are rising up because they're all doing the same thing.
We have 30,000 champions. Champions rise up, right?
If only it was that easy, right?
Well, individually, a lot of times it's easy, but not it's simple, but not easy, I guess is the trick. Because the programming gets you to think you can't let go of certain things, and half of the issues is just letting go of the old bullshit.
Yep.
Like
and
not
people are waking
about
up
certain things anymore and just letting it go, and you feel this burden lift off, and you're like, oh my God, why was I carrying that shit for so long when it didn't matter?
Right, exactly.
And then you're like, oh wait, how many other of these little things on my shoulders that I have that I don't need to be there?
Well, you're talking about levels again. You're talking about those levels again, right?
Yes.
And for me to respect cruise control's levels, because cruise control is seeing things in his life. He's seeing things he doesn't have to hold on to, and he's seeing new things that always been there. It's never been new. There's nothing new up under the sun. But for cruise control, it is new for him right now. Cool. So now he has things to hold on to now. There's things he let go, and there's things he's grabbing onto because he's seeing things, he's experiencing things. And now your thing is not to be afraid to share it. You got to share it with a friend. You got to share it with somebody else. You share it with your girlfriend. You share it. And then, then they're going to hear it and be like, dang, because it's planting a seed. You know, all the greatest books in the world are always talking about planting seeds, man.
And
they plant seeds.
Yes. And when you share it, just like we're doing right now, it's not about showing like, because we're all on, like I said, different levels in different ways. When you share it, the feedback you get lets you think about it even more. And then you go, oh, so now I've gotten input from somebody else who sees it a different way than I do, yet showed me something new. So and it's not like and then you go, wow, because you learn, like I said, you're basically, people are a reflection of yourself in a lot of ways.
A lot of ways.
What you see in your mind that you can't stand is what you see is basically what you hate of somebody
about
else. It's
yourself.
not always true, just like anything else, but there's definitely truth to projection, which basically is the idea that you're upset about something that you do yourself. And you see it in somebody else, or what you do is you go, do I do that myself? And you go, oh shit, I do. I don't like that, so I need to stop doing that.
Yeah, and it's the fight.
Like there's all these different levels and different techniques and different ways of going by it. Like there's Taoism, there's Taoism, there's your own personal philosophy. Like I have my own idea of how shit works, and I'm fine with that because it works for me. But it also connects to the idea that it's ethical. It's not. It works for me, so screw you. It's like it works for me because I am seeing everything as more connected the more I delve into all this stuff. So it's pretty fucking incredible. I'm gonna curse again. I don't know why because I noticed you don't curse. What do you think about cursing? Do you care or does it matter? Because I know some people do on our show. So I'm kind of like trying to be.
Well, I mean, you know, I realize I won't be able to share this with my great auntie, but hey, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's all right. I think she must understand it's hip hop.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can talk about something after we're done with this because I've got an idea percolating in my head. So we can talk about that.
That's what I'm talking about, and we're going to do that.
But do you want to jump into another track? Which one should we hear?
Let's jump into that. Which one? We got the 2 left. We've got the one you like. Back
Making a Name, and we've got In Remembrance. Which one are you thinking there, Nashayah?
Oh wow. Man, well, let's go with Making a Name first.
Yeah.
We have a good conversation right there.
That's my shit right there.
All
that's my jam. All right. So we're jumping into Making a Name.
Nothing sacred interview. Back in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. The truth. Trying to get famous, off the street fame. Trying to get famous. southeast. In the mornings, him and his mama screaming out, where the hell is peace? Every night waiting by the phone, hoping that the next call don't mean that my son has been grown. Where he hangs out, boy's house or his girl's house, where he bangs out, where he slings out. Yeah, and don't think the streets is just to blame. Curse half the blood racing through his veins. Yeah, and she know she couldn't stop this, cause he's headed down the same road that his damn pop did. And he's bad as hell. She can picture her son in jail with a bullet in his tail. So she fell to her knees screaming, walking around the house rebuking all of the demons. And she's feeling like all the pain, cause he's using his baby name for that street fame. Yeah, that's bad, coming so easily. Why in the world would you wanna die in those streets? Trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name for them streets, for that street fame. Trying to get famous, yeah, trying to get famous, yeah, trying to get famous, famous. Oh, 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 wanna be famous, you wanna be famous, you wanna be famous, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Mom started to think and cop thoughts on everything he had and everything he bought, and his girl got rings on every single toe. And so she had to figure out where he got this dough. So she's up in the room, yeah, Miles is in the room. Happen to run into half an ounce of Zoom. And on the dresser said a Mac 10, and next to it is the keys to somebody else's Benz. So she looked up on the bed, a pound of herb laid out in a spread, a fat bag of pills right by the side. It was too much, mama had to cry. Nashayah, oh, Nashayah, I pray that my son so you take the key, because he don't know what he's doing. Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's bad, coming so easily, so easily. Why in the world would you wanna die in those streets? Trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name for them streets, for that street fame. Oh, trying to get famous, trying to get famous. Oh, trying to get famous. Oh, 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 oh. You wanna be famous, yeah. Wanna be famous. Oh, you wanna be famous. Oh, 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 oh.
Trying to get famous, trying to get famous off the street fame. Trying to get famous, trying to get famous off the street
They
fame.
say I'm a product of my society, my society, my society. You hear a mother calling out for the Almighty, for the Almighty, for the Almighty, for the Almighty. Say I'm a product of my society, my society, my society, my society, my society. You hear a mother calling out for the Almighty, for the Almighty, for the Almighty, for the Almighty. Where there's death coming so easily, so easily. Why in the world would you wanna die in those streets? Trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name, trying to make a name for them streets, for that street fame, for that street fame. Trying to get famous, yeah, trying to get famous, whoa, trying to get famous, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. You wanna be famous, whoa, you wanna be famous, yeah, you wanna be famous, whoa.
Oh man, you
Yes.
wow. That's some on some conscious but some street shit. And you know, a real quick thing, because remember Nashayah, who did I compare you to, and then what did you tell me about that?
Well, oh man, I knew you was gonna bring that up. Well, gee whiz. Well, you know what? When people hear that song, a lot of times the first person that comes up into their mind, of course, is Tupacalypse.
Yep.
Tupac. And you know, I didn't, you know, I'm from Cali, of course, and so a lot of artists in Cali, they kind of have that. And every day I put a time when I'm looking for. I never thought about it every single day. You didn't know, like a now every single day. We kind of grew up with that type of
Oh yeah.
flow,
Uh-huh.
powerful, just hitting, just pop, 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 like we're hitting a punching bag
That is
with a
flowing
little
though to
speed
me.
bag.
That's my idea of flowing. That's, well, like you said, we grew up
It's
with that, I guess.
intense, more aggressive lines that aren't
Yep.
laid back.
Exactly,
They push.
and and Silverhammer, you flow like that too. You do the story style. You like the beats that have the nice jazzy background,
Oh yeah.
vibration. You do that a lot.
Something tells me he's been
So
to my Suno page.
you know what I'm saying?
Some of the things you're saying.
You know what I mean? And we got the nice, beautiful melodies for the chorus, and it's real righteous singing.
Right.
So the thing is, so the story, how it came out, people, they hear Tupac in that song. They hear Tupac sometime in my voice when I flow, and I'll be like, darn, I gotta get that out of me, I'll be wanting to, but then people go, yeah, man, it's cool, man. You're not trying to sound like just people say, you're not trying to sound them. You can tell you're not being fake. You don't sound fake.
Yeah. You're
That's
not trying
what
to be
care about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not, it just happened to be you kind of sound like Pac on that track, but not all your tracks are that way.
No.
So.
This is a different vibe. And so the name of the song itself, making a name, I had it before it was Street Fame. And I didn't know, found out later that Tupac had a song called Street Fame. And I was like, what? I said, oh, great. I'm really in trouble now. Because I performed the song, I rocked the song, I pushed the song. And, then somebody said, hey, Tupac got a song called Street Fame. And I didn't even know. And so I said, okay, I got to change this song. And it took a long time for me to come up with the name to this song. And I thought, you know what? I hear myself singing, making a name, trying to make a name. And I said, you know what? That's it. Making a name. But even that title alone, there's a lot of titles out there like that. Making a name, make a name, and I'm not one of those kind of people that does a lot of easy titles, even though it might be a song that's in the genre of a hip hop, bebop type track or whatever, where, simple names, some names might, kind of hold some of the same, same feelings and all that. But I'm kind of more to making a name, a title that's kind of like a movie style. It's a TV show. I try to make my titles have something to them, but they still have a familiar feel to them. But they kind of build into something. So it was really a tough thing for a while because I was like, man, I'm not Tupac. And people were like, man, you sound like Tupac. And I was like, wow. But people were getting excited about it, especially when I played in big speakers or performed it. Man, they were loving it, man.
Of course.
Was like, okay.
Well, then you realize then that's a moment where you went, you know what? I got to put my ego aside because regardless of who I sound like, people like it maybe because of it, but they also like it because of what I'm bringing to it as well. Because you can sound like Tupac, but people go, oh, that sounds like Tupac, and then they don't listen to it. But they're not doing that. They're going, that sounds like Tupac because they like the way it sounds like Tupac. Not
right. It's a positive.
Actually, it's a positive. It's a compliment.
Yeah, totally. That's why
I understand that. And I didn't get it for a while. I was actually on the other way what you said first. You hit it right on the nose. I was like, oh no. But and I started hearing, no, man, that song is dope, man. That's probably one of your best songs on the project. I'm like, what? Oh, no. Now slow down. Hold up.
Well, and you sing on it too. Tupac doesn't sing, but you're doing your own chorus. So, that's dope.
Right. A lot of people, and that's another thing that separated. A lot of people really love the chorus because I'm really singing what they like we like to say, I'm singing from the toes. I'm
I want to ask you, in terms of your music, because I always ask this, especially of when it's really good lyrics and also really good melodies. Do you do all of your own playing? Do you have people that play with you, or like do you create your own? I'd assume you create your own melodies and everything from you yourself, but obviously you might have contributors or collaborations. But how do you come up with it? Like, do you come up with a melody and then come up with your lyrics over the melody, or do you have the lyrics and they can fit on every melody? Because I can't create a song without the melody first. I need the melody first before I'm going to create a song, because the melody dictates to me the tone and what the song is about in terms of how it sounds. So like, but Max can write a song and not have a melody at all. It doesn't matter to him. Like, I couldn't even think about. I couldn't even. No, I couldn't even. But then again, I do more singing stuff. But even a rap, if I did a rap, I'd have to know the beat. I mean, you have the beat first.
I have a beat in mind. I have a beat in mind, but I don't necessarily all the time have a melody in mind. Until I start writing, then I'm like, oh, I can hear this. Well,
you have the cadence to do, but you don't have because you don't hear the bass or the guitar or riff going like unless it's like a you know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm asking is how do you approach that?
For me, what I like to do is I like to do different things, but a lot of times I will hum out the bass line, and then I get the drum and I will hum out the bass line and then find the notes.
I do.
Yeah. Because it's fun, right?
Well, I remember at camp you would drum on the cabinets when you'd write raps. We had those cabinets between our bunks, and you just would be laying on your bunk with a brailer or something, and you just kind of when I'm rolling with my mom, and then you just kind of bang on the cabinet to keep the beat. Just kind of catch something.
Right. That's right. And I'm thinking about it, and and I'm a beatboxer, right? And we got a song coming up later, in remembrance. I'm beatboxing and that. But I'm a heavy beatboxer. I'm like a different type of beatboxer. Yeah, I like to make beatbox sounds, but when I beatbox, I actually beatbox the melody, and so I do the bass kick, I do the snare, I do the hi-hat. I'm doing the hi-hat.
So it's almost like scatting, just like what Cruise Control's doing there. Yeah.
Something like that.
No, it's different. I mean, it's probably more like bass.
It's a little more,
Yeah, see, I'm that's how I scat. I'm more like a doom doom like ding ding ding.
But what he's doing there is a beautiful thing, because see, nowadays with like Suno, you can do some of that into Suno, and Suno can find the bass line for you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do.
Cool things, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
that's how I create. I meld my ideas that I've had in my head, because I hear the whole song in my head, and then I do I just was working on something today where I'm starting to do multiple tracks with multiple scatting. Like I do a high line, then I do a bass line, like a boom boom, and so I'm mixing them now.
Right.
But like I said, so that's how you do it. You kind of hear it in your head too, or how do you go about creating a song?
I hear a lot of times. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I don't even hear it in my head. Sometimes I will walk into the studio and I don't want to know. I don't want to hear anything, because I'm always beatboxing. I'm always singing. I'm always creating. I'm always freestyling. I'm always making up stuff. Freestyle today is different from what freestyle was back in the day, right? Because when you say freestyle, people say freestyle, oh, he's gonna give us the freestyle, and it'll be something they wrote, and they call it a freestyle. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But they're saying it's freestyle. That's a freestyle. No, that was not a free. But some of these people don't even realize that's not a freestyle. Don't use that word, because freestyle is really something off the top of the head, straight right then and there, impromptu, drop it right there on your feet, bam.
Yeah,
but nowadays that's not what freestyle is for people. But yeah, so I do a lot of freestyle. I'll walk into the studio and I'll just get on my mic and I'll just start, and I'll just start doing the whole beat jam, and then once I play it back, then I'll go, and listen to it and go, oh, okay. And then we'll start playing. I got an engineer that's there, or I have a friend that plays bass guitar or guitar, because that's the kind of person I like, the guitars and bass. And then so they'll play what I'm playing. They'll find all my notes, and then we'll put it in, and we'll use a real bass guitar. and then we'll twist up the bass guitar, make it sound a little different, add this. And then, nowadays you can take that bass guitar, of course, once you add it into to your system, Pro Tools or whatever you're working with, Logic, whatever, then you add in a couple of other plugins that would take your bass guitar and would add in another sound with it. Now your bass guitar got a wound to it, got this cool sounds with it. Now it doesn't even sound like the bass guitar that just was played. That's usually how I do a lot. My melodies come to me right off the bat. Now, if I got something set up, I'm going to usually do a setup. I'm going to hum the chords, the piano chords, and I'm going to find the notes. If I don't feel like finding the notes, if I'm not into it, I'm going to usually get on the microphone. I'm going to hum the notes, and I'm going to have the plug-in play my notes back, and then we'll stack the chords up and make full chords out of it. Boom, 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 get it done. It's not the Suno. I'm talking about just straight up, working with plugins that kind of do it. They got plugins that do it. Suno does it within like 2 minutes. These plugins take a lot longer.
Well, they have this new studio that I've been using on Suno. It's pretty amazing where you can do multiple tracks and then export it right to the creator, and then it automatically does it. So I'm working on that kind of stuff. I've been doing, but even in those situations, it's funny. Like we'd all do it in different ways. Like we'd all use it in different ways. And it fascinates me how that happens. Like the creative action like that. Like how you come up with stuff as compared to how I do it.
Well, that's it. There's no science to it.
Yeah, it is a science. It's funny that you say that, Albert, because that's exactly what I'm saying. It seems like there's a science in everything we do now, but the science has that freedom to really bring forth something that can bring light or bring dark. Right. And that's where we are in this world right now. And the more that we realize that when we're touching the music, the more we realize that in this music game, when we're playing with Suno, anything that we're doing, hey, we got to know what we're doing nowadays, because the other people out there, believe me, when these other celebrities and music out there, when they putting their music out, a lot of times that music they're putting out, they're not putting it out there for light. They're putting it out there for dark tone. I wanted to talk about, the hertz, right? You got to talk about the 44A hertz and the
44 hertz,
the 432 hertz. That stuff is real. Why? Because it's exactly what we were talking about much earlier tonight about that energy level, about the
frequency and
the frequencies,
fields of resonance and all that kind of stuff.
That's right. So exactly. Yeah.
I mean, because it's science. It's literally it is science. It's true. Like if you have a different frequencies and have your music at different frequencies, it's going to affect you in some way. It's just like everything else affects us in some way.
We have seen the ice with Dr. Moto having experiments using frozen ice. So before he froze the ice, he yelled at it, screamed at it, or he played heavy, dark metal music to the water, freeze it, come back, and the water has these crazy designs in the frozen ice. He played symphony to the water, come back later on, the design in the ice is softer, kind of a floral type of design.
Wow.
And it's real.
Well, it's energy. It's energy, like you were saying.
That energy we've been talking about tonight, right? This is how it ties back in to understanding the resonance that Cruise Control been bringing up. This resonance is absolutely magnified at a level when you and I speak. So if I am speaking curses to you, as in saying F you, I don't care about you, I don't da-da, that is another frequency that hits the body, hits the life. It can probably even affect their whole synchronicity in their life, what they're doing, where they're going. What they're about to go do. It can affect their walk in their life, where they're going next, who they meet next, what they do next, and they don't even understand it. We just affected your frequency. We turned a knob on you, And this knob we turned on you is it's a resonance level. Why? Because water holds energy, and what are we made of?
Energy.
Yeah. And
Wow.
here's the
And
thing.
water.
Yep. Yeah,
And
we're made of
water.
water. Yeah.
So, we have to listen to these experiences that people are having. I tell somebody about Dr. Moto, and they're like, what? I've never seen that. And they take it as it's not true or it's just something, and it goes right out the next ear, goes drilled right back in the back of the head. We're supposed to hear something like that, actually, and go look that up. Why? Because we're supposed to want light. We're taught not to want light. We're living in a world right now where evil is good and good is evil. A lot of the greatest Zen books, the Bibles, the psychology, the greatest psychology books ever written, all the Buddha books, everything. Every book on the planet that's talking anything about light, understanding energy, how to treat somebody, this, that, they all say they're seeing a time where good is evil, evil is good, and I can't even say nothing good to you that should spark you up, make you go, man, I need to go. I want to go check that out. Dr. Moto, who? What? Did
Yeah,
what?
I'll check it out.
Let me go check this out.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm interested too.
Yeah, like I'm interested in Alan Watts. Alan Watts has a lot of great ideas. Carl Jung is very the idea of self-improvement and individuation, of figuring yourself out, looking at your shadow, facing your fears, and not running away from them, like facing them head on, actually jumping into them and actually really going, all right, and integrating them, not because you can't remove them, you integrate, you live with them, you work with them, you understand them because you're understanding yourself. So that kind of stuff, and it's amazing how like our society is completely anti that. Like everything is anti that. Like it's all about like now people are upset with Taylor Swift, whose music is completely vapid, completely self-centered, but her new album actually is more positive in some ways, and people can't stand it because they're not because they're already trained to want the cynicism, to want the, because they're not being fooled by by actually looking at and being grateful. Like I don't know. It's a lot there. So we could go, like I said, we can go in that all down. We can go down multiple rabbit holes at multiple times.
We could
all at the same time.
Make this interview long.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. So you got
actually,
this new album. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about this the song that we're going to play here at the end, in remembrance. Was that a tough song to write? And then did you have to like get through because I know if I write some sad shit, I'll be teary-eyed while I'm writing the lyrics. But by the time it's time to go record it, I'm desensitized. I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be a sad fucking song, but I'm able to do it now. So talk about the process of that a little bit.
Man, In Remembrance is, it's a heavy song because it is about my mother. And then, the way I am, when I write music, I turn it around so it can be effective for other people, right? So they can use it for whoever that's not a mother, uncle, cousin, whoever, friend, whatever, your dog, whatever, your cat. Well, I don't want to leave the cats out. Sorry, cat lovers out there.
And don't forget birds and fish and all kinds of other stuff.
Not
just
the birds.
I like the birds. Screw the fish.
Yeah. But not just the birds. Come on. We got to keep it real now. We're living in a new time. Not just the birds, but the gray parrots that know how to talk. Because a lot of people are getting talking gray parrots that say a lot of things. I don't know if you guys have seen all that, but the main thing about it is
I got to look. Okay, Dr. Moto and talking gray parrots. All right, I'm looking that shit up.
I was just chewing on a little sucking candy, and I spit that out when you said what you said. Now I'm trying to find it on the desk here because that was funny as shit.
Because, this is real, man. We're living, man. Look, it's wild how we're living. The energy that's coming out right now for us to just be able to. There's a smorgasbord of good energy out there, but we don't know it. We don't recognize it.
The cracks are forming, and it's they're trying to stop the holes in the dam, but they can't. Part of that is the same thing that's causing us issues, which is the internet. is also, it spreads all the darkness, but it also, you can't hide from things now. And you see things, and people are finding things in corners and going, whoa. And they're reaching out to people that they would never reach out to before, or and seeing things. So there are cracks, and these the quote unquote they are like trying to they don't know what to do, because there's no way they can stop all the cracks anymore.
And where we are right now, a song like "In Remembrance" brings you back to that home, warm feeling of just being, wanting to be back, is something that's recognizable. You love someone, they have passed away, they have moved on, but their light is still with you. You still remember things. You're doing things in their remembrance. Like the old thing, people used to pour beer out on the side of the curb when the homie died.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
So it's you took a negative and made it into a positive. Basically, it wasn't
negative and turn it into a positive. It made me tear up when I first did it. I had tears in my eyes. Why? Because I thought about my mom. I thought about my mother. I thought about what I'm going through. I'm totally blind. I'm out in the world without my mom. I never was raised with my dad. I'm one of those children. Never was raised with my dad. I just met my dad only 2 years ago. Wow. And so yeah, we're going to that a little bit, because it all coexists. It all coexists and comes together with "In Remembrance," the song I'm going to play in a little while from now, because that's where it is. In that song, there's a part in the song I say, I don't understand, and I'll never understand.
I don't understand God's plan. Yep.
That's right. I don't understand God's plan, and this is big, because the reason why I put those words in is self-explanatory, but there's a lot of other core meaning to it. What we've been talking about this whole evening is the energy, the light, accountability, resonance, synchronicity. All of it is there, because not overtaking somebody when they tell you their experience. Because I'm saying in that song, I don't understand. I don't understand God's plan. First of all, I mentioned God because there is a creator. There has to be. There's got to be a creator, something here. Something's greater, because I know people that seen ghosts before. So I can't stop at seeing ghosts and say that there's nothing greater than a ghost. Come on now. If you can see ghosts, I have to say there's a creator.
Yeah, I would say so.
Stop there. I'm not stopping, though. You're not going to make me do it. No, right. I'm not staying at ghosts. Oh, that's all we have. That's the only energy on the planet is ghosts. No, there's got to be something greater than that, bigger, greater, that helped to do all the things that I've seen and been through in my life. I've been through some crazy. I came across some crazy stuff. So the core of those words, I don't understand God's plan, because this is the thing. We don't understand God's plan. I am not here to push anything on you. It goes back to the core of everything we've been talking about. I'm not here to push or overtake you or conquer you. When I say I don't understand God's plan, I mean it. I don't.
None of us do.
But none of us do. But I do know there's a creator. There's some kind of energy that's going on that is divine. There's something that's trying to fight darkness. There's something that is keeping me from going crazy and wanting to just do something absolutely out of this world against somebody and lose my humanity. There's something that keeps me from wanting to be evil when I might be mad at somebody, but instead of me being evil towards them, I decided to show love towards them and mercy towards them. There's a reason. There's a reason why somebody won't do that. It goes both ways. There's a way, that there is the good and evil. So in this song, "In Remembrance," when I was singing my heart out at the end of that track, I was like, man, my mother loved it when I beatboxed. She loved my beatboxing, so I did it in a beatbox style because she likes that. So I did a beatbox style. So she loves it when I sing. She likes me when I rap too, but she loves it when I sing. So, and she likes how I just make up stuff. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to make it up. So I just kind of freestyled that song. I just kind of just started singing. And then once I started singing the lead, I just started putting background parts to the lead. I just jumped in and said, okay, I'm just going to add these little parts behind it because that's what she likes. She likes me just coming off top of the head. And all that energy and bringing all that positive energy forward and using it for good. Do something that's going to help somebody. We're right now in that song at the end. I'm all about, I don't understand God's plan. There's a lot of people that don't want to believe in God at all. And they're mad because their mother passed away, and they're cursing God. And I'm telling you, no, don't curse. Don't do that. I don't understand either. But it is something, there is a plan. Everything is meant to be. You're meant to go through things, you're meant to experience things. Not everything is a coincidence. There's more sequence than coincidence. So since there is more sequence than coincidence, that is for us to resonate with that.
Speaking of coincidence, I want to ask you, I don't know how you are about numerology, but I know we've been on a lot of spiritual shit tonight and, that kind of thing and energy. So when that little lozenge just flew out of my mouth, when you made me laugh here a little while ago, I'm groping around here on my desk. I'm like, where the hell did it go? Right between the 8 and the 9 on my keyboard is where it landed. So I'm thinking, is there any significance between the numbers 8 and 9 for you?
8 and 9. I love that. Numbers for me are colors, like what Cruise Control was talking about earlier. About
synesthesia.
music. Yes, colors for me. So 8 for me is the color of a reddish, orange type looking color for me. It is a sort of a fire looking color for me. It means for me that things are going to multiply for me. Okay, so when I looked up what 8 means out there, 8 for a lot of people, it means money, getting money, going on new pastures and multiplying new things in their life that is positive. The 8 means something to the Asian communities also.
It's a symbol also because the 8 is actually the symbol of infinity. So
That's
it also
right.
means like prosperity, but it's like
there we go.
And 9 is the humanities, the number of humanity. And funny enough, 8 is green to me, and 9 is like a darkish bluish gray.
So what about 72? If you're multiplying the two numbers, maybe 72 means something.
If every number means
numerology,
something.
And then numerology, of course, you add the 7 with the 2, and then you have the 10, and you have the 1. And so, and 1 is life, right? It's the beginning of life. 1 means life. That's what I take it as. But with numerology and things like that, I take some of these numbers and some of these colors, and I look at them and I go, you know what? They're saying is this. I'm going to say it's that. Reason why is not way off from what somebody else might say, but I'm going to interpret it a little differently because I also know that a lot of these types of esoteric type uses that are being used in these ways, they came from people that were on some other jive, and that jive was not jiving with the good light. You understand?
Right.
And so, because like a lot of things in our life, if you truly are being brave to know, then you're brave to know. Be brave to know at all times. I want people to be brave to know. That's one of my sayings. Please be brave to know. Don't be afraid to learn something. It's okay. Don't be the person that is still in their house or around their friends in your mind like you were when you was a child and the Jehovah Witnesses came to the door and your mom said, "Shut up. Don't say anything."
Right. Just let them talk, right? Just let them do their thing.
And look, and making sure that you hide down somewhere because you're in the living room and mom don't want to answer the door at all, and you got the Jehovah Witnesses peeking through the window. Don't be this person that's locked your own self in your own mind, even at your older age, and you're not brave to know. You don't want to be brave to know. So being brave to know takes me to a level where I'm like, look, we have a lot of stuff we got going on in our life. It's just a fact. Don't be scared. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's a fact of life that a lot of things we have in our life came from people that were doing and moving energy in a way that you would not like it. And once you hear about it, you're going to act like you never heard it because it doesn't agree with you in your life where you are right now. It kind of rubs you funny, makes you feel weird. It sounds stupid. It sounds like conspiracies. It's not reality, whatever you feel. But there's a lot of people that have to be brave to know right now. And this is a problem for us. We're not brave to know, most of us. We have a hard time being brave to know. But numerologies and things like that, when you go way back, you look it up, man, that goes back into druids and all kind of stuff. Goes back
Right.
into druid energy and druid power. But and these are facts though. So it's not like they hid it. They don't like to hide. I learned a lot of the dark esoteric things and light esoteric things. A lot of that stuff, they don't hide it. It's just that you just haven't seen it yet or found it yet. And so when you do come across it, you're supposed to go, huh, this is interesting. And then you're supposed to absorb it. You're supposed to assimilate it in a certain way. And you're supposed to utilize it in the way that works for you to learn something new down the line. Now, I'm going to assimilate something like that, and numerologies and any other esoteric things, like even using tarot cards or going over zodiac signs and all those types of things is energy to me. Going over that type of stuff, I'm going to absorb it differently from you. Why? Because I've learned that back then in the day, way back, they utilized those things for darker energy. They came from a darker place. So since it came from a darker place, and now it's being used as white light, as they say, used as white energy. This is why you see a lot of celebrities that have sold their soul, sold themselves out. They're into the numerology. Why do you think they do that? It's because they want you on it so much, but yet they sold their life. They sold their souls out. They sold themselves out to whatever darkness or whatever rituals that they do with these record companies and all these people do. They sold out to that. But why do they got you on it? That's why you see some celebrities, I got to tell you, it's crazy because I'm just going to keep proving the point. That's why you see some celebrities right now. You can go on to TikTok and they got all these women that have a thing. You can look it up. It's called "What's in Your Purse." And when they pull out of their purses, a lot of these celebrities and celebrities from all walks of life, a lot of women from all walks of celebrities, music all the way down to actresses. What are they pulling out of their purse? They're pulling out crystals. Okay, this is the reason why they're doing it. You think that they are just pulling out the purse? They just happen to just be walking down the street, just happen to go, oh yeah. No, they all are agreeing to do that because they want to push something into your mind. They want you out there to see these crystals coming out the purse, and within the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, your child will have crystals in her purse. And you'll be like, baby, why do you have crystals in your purse? Okay. This is how our society is woven to do the next thing. They want to move you to the next level. And usually the same people that are showing you this are people that have sold themselves out. This is just a fact of life. It's nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of. It's okay. I'm not lying. I ain't made it up. It's the truth. It's the fact. But I think you should be aware. We all should be aware, because if you're not brave to know these things, it will overtake you. And remember, like we talked about, we're not to be the people to be overtaking people. We're not here to be conquering people's experiences. I have experienced a lot of dark esoteric things in my life. I've seen a lot of dark esoteric things. I won't go into that. I won't be part of that. I don't like that stuff. It's not good for me, right? Because it's going a different direction. It's harmful.
But if you got to know what's out there, so
You gotta know.
or else, and you're not going to have the ability to do things like in remembrance. So
This has been quite the stimulating combo, man. Nashayah, we're gonna have to do this again because I know we're gonna do a part two.
Fantastic.
But give us some future projects, any websites where people can find your music
info. Yep.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
All right, so check it out. So right now we're doing The song "Losing Humanity" is on the project Vision Beyond Sight. That's the project that's out right now. I'm coming out with a new single for that called "Crisis on the Way." The songs we've been playing with the raps. That is the project Through the Landmines. That is already out on Spotify already.
Sweet.
There.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So it's already on Spotify. Please go get those songs on Spotify or any other social media platform that you have. Utilize it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna play it. Listen to the lyrics real good. Also on YouTube, you can type the songs in on YouTube. They'll pop up. You got lyric videos. I'm also about to start putting out more rap projects also. So I'm trying to take over the world with the music, man. I'm trying to change the world again in my small little way. So I'm doing a little gospel. I'm doing a little country. I got some country soul music coming. I got some soul rock music coming. I'm going to put out another rap project. This project, Vision Beyond Sight, is more of a R&B, kind of like a gospel, kind of spiritual, kind of R&B. And so I have so many little different projects, but each project is aimed towards lifting you up, and let you realize that you don't have to feel like you could be getting bogged down by one way. There is not one way, but there is one way in the light to go towards something good and conscious, like the creator of all. There's only one way that way. But there is not only one way to learn, though. There's many ways to learn, but it's only one way to get to the creator of understanding. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, that's just what it is. All right,
man. Hey, listen, we appreciate. Hang on with us. We're gonna say goodbye and do all that stuff, but then hang on with us afterwards, just because we had a few little extra things for you. And man, Nashayah, man, thank you for coming. This has been wild. Like I said, that we couldn't complete this all one interview, so we're gonna have you come back at some point.
Yeah, we'll be doing something soon. So but this is in remembrance. This has been the Nothing Sacred interview.
And you are.
I'm Cruise. I was gonna wait. I'm Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. And that's the story there. Bitches. See ya.
Yeah. When I was 16 years old, I was raised to make it on my own by my mama, Yeah. And now that my mom's back home with the Lord, I just want to sing a song. For those who passed away, yeah. We hope to see you again. 16 years old. When my mother got called back home, I had to realize so fast that I was raised to make it on my own. Make it on my own, yeah. But first I had to get up about that zone. About that zone. Baby boy has to be, baby boy has to be strong. Yeah, so strong. Let me tell you now, I'ma listen to my mother's favorite church song. Favorite church song. Never alone. Never alone, never alone, never alone, never alone, no. Never alone. In remembrance, yeah. In remembrance, in remembrance, I'ma see you again. remembrance.
And remember,
Yeah. For those who passed away.
those who passed away.
In remembrance.
Come on.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
No, I don't understand. I never understand what was in God's plans. Oh, I don't understand.
I never understand.
No, I don't understand. I never understand.
No.
Till we get to the promised land.